Good morning. Hi guys. I guess I'll start kind of talking about what we did last week. So the past 2 weeks have been a lot. I'm really hoping that you guys tuned in at least at one of our Cafecito times, because we've been doing this for 14 days now, which 15 counting myself. That's a lot of days of having guests and people that truly care about our community, who want to be involved with us, and people who I've had opportunity to build bonds with, and I'm just really grateful for that. So last 2 weeks ago, we had a conversation with Doreen from Before You Take the LSAT, and she talked about the LSAT. I don't know if you guys caught that, if you're in pre-law. Then we talked with Liv Balance, who is Olivia Ash from my law school, and she graduated a year after me. And she talked about balancing life and law school in your career. Then I talked with Taylor from How to Become a Trademark Attorney, how she did it and what she's doing. And then thereafter, we talked to our friend from Brown Eye Lawyer. She's in England, Ana Rivera, and we talked about the UK versus US law school systems. If you ever thought of studying abroad, that was a really good and very insightful. Like, I wish I had studied somewhere else maybe, because it's so expensive here, and that was really insightful. And then we had a conversation with Lawtina RN, Martha Salmon. She's from we talked about COVID-19 and how that's impacting our community. So it was just really insightful, and the work that she's doing too. And then this week we actually talked about being a young attorney with Victoria Walker. We talked about taking and retaking the bar exam with Jessica Ocampo. I hope you see that. I was actually posted recently on our YouTube channel. And today we'll be posting Courage and Corona with Gigi. If you missed that yesterday, that was so insightful. Or 2 days ago, on Wednesday. And then we talked with Leslie H. She was actually my TEDx coach for TEDx. And I really wanted to bring her in mainly so you guys can get encouraged either participating in a TED Talk, TEDx volunteer opportunity, or actually being on stage. I want to see Latinx telling their story, sharing about the way that the big ideas, the way that they have been impacted in their life by their community and what's going on in their life, and whatever way that might be. For me, mine basically was sharing my struggle story and how Latina came to be. So I hope that you guys take advantage of those resources. They're all going to be posted on YouTube and our website, and we'll have a clip for you on Instagram, which will be only about a third or half of what our interviews usually go for. So I hope you guys check those out. So kind of going back to from those 5 people that are right now watching, what are some things or topics or resources that you guys would like to see? That way I can hunt those people down that we want to have on our Cafecito time. We are going to be slowing it down because mainly it takes a lot of work to be on Cafecito time and editing the videos thereafter. But although I do enjoy posting them for you, it is taking quite a lot of time from my day. So I will at least like to have the Cafecito times 1 to 2 times a week. I really am looking towards a podcast for us. I'm not sure what that would be called. If you have any ideas, drop those in the comment box. Recommendation I handle, who would like to collaborate, or if you would like to collaborate in our Cafecito times, please DM me. I'm going to be hunting down for our next guests, and I do have some people who have recently applied for that, so I'm really excited for it. And I'm going to, you guys take the time to do that. I'm going to announce right now who is coming up, who's going to be talking to us next week. And next week is our final week of the month. So we will have Cafecito time Monday to Thursday. And on Friday, I'll do another Q&A. Hopefully, we will have people asking more questions, and I'll be announcing too what that looks like, what our schedule looks like, what days will work best for us, or 1 or 2 times a month. So who is coming up next week? We have some pretty cool guests. mainly just really grateful to have these people in my life. A lot of them I have relationships with. They're my friends. So one of them is from, we're talking about grad school versus law school. So if you have anyone who's in college or even high school and they're questioning what they're going to do with their life, that is going to be a good time to tune in and listen to our friend from Grad Achieve. Her name is Donisha, and she's going to be giving us a basic step-by-step understanding of the difference between the application process between those two and what applying to law school looks like versus when she did her master's. And that, I think that would be a great way for you to decide, because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I really, looking back and what I'm doing now versus law school, sometimes I do question, like, should I have gone to law school? So I think that would be a good time to ask questions and just be very engaged in what your next steps gonna look like. And then the next guest is going to be our friend. She is awesome. Ashley Alvarez from Oye Prima, and she's actually the Senior Associate Director of Allied Groups and Labor Engagement at the DNCC now, which is pretty cool. I don't often meet people like that, and I'm so proud of her and all she's done. And she is going to be talking about non-lawyer careers for those who have a law degree. So this one is important because I think oftentimes if you didn't get a chance to you didn't have opportunity to become a lawyer because you didn't pass the bar exam, or you're thinking of going to law school, you're not sure what to do after graduation, there are a lot of other things you can do with a law degree, or those who are thinking about law school but they don't really want to practice. It's just like the aspect of how it teaches you how to think, and how resourceful you can be as someone who went to law school. So she's going to be talking to us about other types of non-lawyer careers, and she went to law school but she's not practicing law, and that's just really exciting to talk about that. And I know that we do have a lot of law graduates who are doing amazing things in other ways, so I hope that will be helpful to you. And then we will have an immigration attorney, Vanessa Alonso, talking about becoming an immigration attorney, and her handle is Lawtina Law Mom. And I'm really excited to have her and talk about what that looks like, for what it looked like for her, how she got into immigration law, why she decided to go to law school, and we'll be also addressing some questions that we may have during this COVID-19 situation. So if you have any family members who may not have a status or have an alternative status, make sure that you tune in and that you are listening for, what resources might be important, how to defend yourself and whatnot. And then we'll be finally talking to one of my closest friends, Joanna LeBlanc, and she's in Washington, D.C. She's a national security and foreign affairs legal analyst, and she's going to be talking about truthful and authentic to your passion. So finding what that means to you, and how her journey brought her to, I think she has like 4 degrees, and she's pretty incredible. And I'm just so excited. I know she's doing amazing things in DC, and she's from Haiti, and we went to law school together, and we studied and worked in Washington DC together. I think you guys would really like to learn from her and how she discovered what she wanted to do afterwards. Because I know sometimes after law school, in the rare occasion you want to continue studying, maybe an LLM, to see if you have a specific trade of law that you want to go into, especially if you want to work in government and you're not sure if doing that is for you. So you're gonna hear her journey and a lot of walking with us through brokenness. So I'm just really excited to have her on our show next week. And I know that we are going to be having the Esquired and the graduation celebrations on video, so please share with your friends and family who are graduating from any higher education background about our graduation celebration. We do want to make Latinx more visible. We do get hundreds and thousands of views on our page, and it would be so great to share that with your family so that they know that we're there with them celebrating. I know that you're not gonna get your ceremony for either a while, it was been canceled, and we just want to make you guys visible and proud of everything that you accomplished and you've done, because I know if I was in your shoes, I'll be very sad not to be able to walk, and at the same time I would like to celebrate in some way, even sending us links to families in different countries. Like, I know that I was sending pictures to my grandma in El Salvador, so make sure that you share that with your friends and family. And also for those who passed the bar exam, if you have any friends or you passed the bar exam in the spring of 2020, please message us. You can have your own feature. We can write down, like, we can talk to you about being featured and telling your story, or we can include you in the video celebration. I really would like to see how many more new attorneys we have. So spread that with your friends and family, with your organizations and your law school class. And lastly, now that I've announced that, I encourage you to check out our latest drops. I recently dropped some of the newest merchandise for Latina Shop that kind of keeps me going, and it's another way for us to do this in a different platform for you guys. So check out our store, and all this that we're doing is coming from Latina Shop. So that's mainly what we do. So check that out, check the new drops, maybe buy some gifts for some friends and family. Send them a link if you would like to get some gifts for your graduation or passing the bar exam. There's something for everyone there. And sign up for our subscription list. If you're not part of it, you're missing out. We do send a lot of more news to our subscribers, and we let them know of events or things ahead of time, so check that out. And lastly, I know that we have some delays in some of our merchandise, and that's because of the COVID-19 situation. And we work with third-party providers, and a lot of them may not have the amount of people they wish they could have because they're taking precautions to keep everyone safe. So some orders have been delayed, and actually, because of that, they have been very vocal in getting back to me on when those things are going to be going out, in some projected dates. So I actually posted a blog, so check that out on our website. So when you're shopping and you're like, oh, I'm not sure when it'll get here, just want to make sure it gets on time, then you can look on there and see, like, if it's a mug, if it's a shirt, when it should be going out to you. And with that being said, if you decide to just not order because maybe it won't be too long, you can at least buy a gift card for that person, and that gift card will arrive to them online. So that makes it easier, and they can choose what they want too. So spread the word with your friends and family. I know that if it were me, I would be hinting at my parents to get me a gift card for Latina Shop. Oh, there's a yay question. Could you get a guest who did law review to give tips? Oh, okay. So like the law review writing, correct? So if it's something that you should invest your time in, is that kind of, I guess, what I'm getting? Yeah, definitely. Let me write that down so that I can make sure that I look someone up. I do know some people who have been in law review, in Latinas and Latinos who have been in law review. So yeah, I can definitely see if it's worth doing, what skills did they gain from that. I can definitely look into that. I do have some other individuals who didn't do it, and I can also kind of give maybe both sides and see if it's worth, it's not worth, because I know that you can be a little biased when you have done it or you have not done it, so that'd be good. Hello. Let's see. Hello, I'm a new follower, so I'm not sure if you've covered this before, but I would appreciate any information on scholarships for income and 1Ls. Yeah, so we actually, those kind of come, some people message me about scholarships. Some people post about their scholarships, and I just hunt those down and I post them. So if you actually go to our Instagram page and you click on like the little money signs, that's what that is. Those are scholarships that we're posting. But I can look to see if anyone that I know, or I can research, are any scholarships for incoming 1Ls. I know there's a lot out there, and so it just is a matter of making sure that you're keeping track of when those applications are due. So I can definitely look into that for sure. So let me write that down. So scholarship information for 1Ls. And how do you guys feel about, for the 1Ls, I don't know, talking to maybe any form of financial advisor? I do know some accounts that they help you with securing scholarships and how to do that. So I think that's probably another thing that I can talk to financial advisors who are for law school or grad school. I know that there are some accounts that are just doing an excellent job in keeping up with that. The financial advice, scholarships, securing scholarships. Awesome. Most of my notes make sense to me, maybe not to other people. So let's see. I'm interested in in-house counsel and will appreciate hearing someone's experience. Yes, I actually did talk to someone recently who's in-house counsel. So let me make a note here to try to confirm them. And we're going to be doing, now that you're watching, usually our subscribers do know first, we actually have a more kind of switching to government jobs. We will have a district attorney doing a blog with our guest writer program. So if you're not part of the guest writer program, you definitely should be part of the guest writer program. Those are our favorite people because they take the time to really go through what they enjoy and what they're doing. And we do have some other people working on different articles, and that's just really exciting because I love learning and I love reading their experiences. I think it's just wonderful. So I will see if I can also get someone who can write about their experience, so you can kind of have that, to read and take notes on, or if you really like to listen to them, to see if we can have them as a guest. It's just cool because I'm very happy that the majority of their guests are women. I think that's just really powerful. But we would like to work with our allies. So if you're a guy or a man and whatever you like to talk about as well, I want to hear it. I want to hear from you. Let's see. I'm interested in immigration law, but want to take a gap year before going to law school. Any recommendations of type of jobs to get experience? Oh, okay. Immigration law. Well, that's mainly what I did. I'm not an immigration attorney. That's just from my experience as a law clerk and a lot of different positions in immigration. Before going to law school, some of the things I wish I'd done was work for a law firm. I wish I would have had the opportunity to see what that looks like, if that's really where I wanted to invest my money and my time. So seeing if you can get even just an entry position as a paralegal, that's really helpful. Seeing if you could have interview or shadow some attorneys, they're happy to help others in that way. So just reach out to them, and just maybe reading some of the blogs. I know that we do have blogs from immigration attorneys. Maybe doing this Cafecito times, it would have been good, for an insight as a person who's thinking of law school as an immigration attorney. We do have stories. If you go to our Latina page from Latinas who are in immigration, they share their struggles and what they've done and how they overcame them. So check those out. I think those are some ways that you can kind of get started. Then in law school, basically in working for a law firm, you kind of learn as you go. You learn how to do a lot of the work as you go, and there's no other way around it, but trying your best to memorize a lot of the ways cases are prepared, a lot of the ways that forms need to be submitted for USCIS. So those are really helpful, and having an attorney that helps you study in a way and analyze cases will be helpful too. So creating those relationships is really important. So I hope that's going to be helpful too. Which blogs do you follow for family immigration? Well, I've been out of the loop for a while. Like I said, I'm not an immigration attorney. I'm not an attorney. So for me, when I was in law school, a lot of the stuff that I read was going to be coming from organizations like AILA, the Association from Immigration. I can't remember what it stands for, but it's National Association. I'm sorry, I'm blanking out on the actual name. AILA. AILA. So if you want to look into that, and a lot of the resources, especially when you're a law student, you can actually become a member, and then you can have access to a lot of really cool things that they post. And then there are some attorneys that they will post on Instagram too, some resources, stuff to stay on top of. If you are an attorney and you are a female and you have children, there is a specific organization for mothers of immigration called Amiga on Facebook and Instagram. I like to tag them or post about them sometimes, so check that out. I do have some more questions here. Okay. I'm not sure if we discussed this before, but maybe the best LSAT books to study, best courses strategies. We actually just talked to, before you check the LSAT, and that was our first guest actually. So that was not this past Monday, but it's previous Monday. And it's all on YouTube, so go ahead and check that out on YouTube. She talked about what books she recommends, and what strategies she used. So check that out. We are going to be doing another one with her. I'm not sure when. I just invited her to please come back because I really think she was so helpful and insightful in doing that, because that just seems like a really long time ago for me, and she's more on top of it, what's going on. So I really appreciated her input and being a guest. So we'll have her come back for another Cafecito, because it seems like a lot of people have questions about that, and it's just really helpful. Let's see what other questions we have. LSAT strategies, self-study versus tutor or course. So like I said, we'll have, before you take the LSAT, come back. I think that's probably a better question for them, because I have not taken an LSAT in over, I think I'm going on 6 years. So you probably don't want to hear, for someone who hasn't been out of the loop for a while. I know that that's her thing, and what she recommends for me. I study by myself. I had to use a lot of the library resources, my public library, or sometimes I would go, and I don't know if you can do this now, but I would go to Barnes and Nobles and I would sit down with their study aids, and I wouldn't write on them, but I would take them on a piece of paper. A lot of practices. So that's kind of like what I did. Then some people do recommend the courses. I know that before you take the LSAT, she doesn't really recommend the courses, or tutors, but she recommends self-study, and she recommends different books for you to do it, because she believes that you can do it in that way. For me, I think that you can score where you want to score as long as you put dedication in it. So that's just my 2 cents on that, and we'll have her come back to our show for sure. So yeah, and then I think I have one more question on here. Give me a second. What are the best books to start studying for the else? Is this the same question? I'm sorry, is this the same question? I don't know this. Okay, yeah, we did talk about this one. Book related, check out that YouTube channel, YouTube video, especially for Legally Inspired. I know that you just asked this question. I don't know if you were here when I said our YouTube channel does have our Cafecito times, and check out before you take the LSAT. She is on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel name is Official Lawtina, and it's actually on our website. If you just go to lawtinajd.com, then you can see on there all the different cafecitos we have. If you click on Latina TV, it's on there. We have so many names for Latina, but Latina TV is pretty easy to remember. If you just click on community on our link, you can drop down and see who we've had. And before you check the LSAT, her name is Doreen, and the title is on there. And no worries, I know the question came in later. It's okay. I'm so grateful for you guys for watching, for sticking around. We're hoping that we do get more views. as we continue growing. I know that I'm looking into this podcast idea. So if you guys since you're still here and you're listening, I like to ask, is that something that you'd be interested in having a podcast? Like, is that more popular than watching us on IG Live or watching us on YouTube? I recently started getting into podcasts for myself. And it's kind of, like I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do. I know that when I'm cooking, it's been really helpful to listen to something and not be on my screen. So I don't know if you guys will give me your 2 cents on podcasts or IG Lives, YouTube channel, like what's easiest for you. I think that'll be really helpful, and I'll probably post a poll too. I have a question here. It would be great to get some perspective on being a young attorney in a recession. Yeah, so we did have our guest this past week talk about being a young attorney, and that was Victoria Walker. But during the recession, it's a little bit different. I know that a lot of them, even Gigi mentioned that being out of work is scary, especially if you have your own law firm. So I will look into that to see if any of our attorneys that we have connections with were young attorneys during the recession. In the recession. Okay. So I've typed that down. Yeah, someone said, I love podcasts. Awesome. Yeah, and I think I should do a poll to see if people were willing to give me their feedback, because I love feedback. I love seeing what's working, what's not working, and that I'm providing the right things to our community. And just because, honestly, I love doing this, and I hope that one day I can do this for a living, because I love providing resources to individuals and just growing our community, help our community. So, new to your page, how often do you host Cafecito Time? So, Cafecito Time, this is our first try. Like, I am actually camera shy, and this is the most I have ever been on a camera. So we have been having it every single day at 9 a.m. and sometimes we had it at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's like California time, if you think about it. I'm actually in Washington State, and we have it every single day for the past 2 weeks. It's over 14 days. It's 15 days that we've had it, actually, because I did a cafecito one day before that. And now I'm going to be doing for another week. And these have all been, I have taken the time to record them because I can't download them. So I've been taking the time to record them, edit them, and they're all posted on YouTube every single afternoon the next day. And they're posted on our website. And I try to be taking notes as much as possible for you guys. So check that out. Please take advantage of us doing this. And when I say us, really, it's just me over here and my awesome guests. And then, next week is our last full week, and then we're going to slow it down and bring it to 1 to 2 times a week. But I kind of want to hear from you guys if you like to have IG lives during this time, if you like to have YouTube recordings instead, or you would just like to have this as a podcast, because I'm looking into doing that too. Let's see. I feel like there's a lot of merch for current attorneys, but not a lot for future attorneys. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I need to put more merch out there for future attorneys. I think so. Before this year started, I ended up and purchased a lot of merchandise that wasn't being sold, because we do like to make sure that we are reading our audience correctly, and a lot of attorneys were purchasing. So I'll go ahead and create more merchandise for you guys that are going to be for future attorneys, for aspiring attorneys. This is my second comment I've gotten, so I'm going to go ahead and do that for you guys and post it up there. Let's see. I found the Thinking LSAT podcast really helpful when studying for the test. I did self-study with a program that they offer. They have a 7-day free trial leave if you'll want to check it out. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's Thinking Elsa, if you guys can see that on the screen. Well, I'll have to check it out too, and maybe we can have them on the show. I don't know. I'm always hunting down for people who want to be on the show, so that sounds great. And thank you so much for talking with me this morning. I really appreciate all the hearts, whoever's clicking on the hearts. On the hearts on there. It's really nice. And I really hope that you guys found all of this helpful in talking to me today. So thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and log off. If you do have more questions, DM me. I always try to answer. And if I don't answer, it's probably because something else is going down. So I'll answer as soon as possible. Email me as well at officiallawtina@gmail.com or latinastories@gmail.com if you like to be on a guest writer program, if you like to be featured, if you like to be a part of our ceremonies, our graduation, and our Esquire ceremonies. And for those that are interested in creating or collaborating, that's a perfect email as well to email us at Latina Stories. And just make sure that your title is clear on what you do, so that way I don't miss or what you like to do, or why you're emailing me, so I don't miss your email and I reply as soon as possible. Thank you so much for tuning in today with me, guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and you probably won't hear from me tomorrow. I rest on Saturdays, but I will be tuning in with you guys on Monday morning at 9 a.m. for a Cafecito time. We have an amazing guest coming up, and I'll post our guest list on our Instagram for you guys to check it out and be reading about them. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Much love, guys. Oh, can you pin the email? Yes, I'll pin my email on here. So for all inquiries, make sure you email officiallawtina@gmail.com. Official Latina, did I spell that correctly? Yep. And for stories or collaborations, anything that's posted kind of on our blog, it will be Latina Stories. Latina Stories at gmail.com. Thank you guys so much. Looking forward to working with you guys and hanging out with you guys this coming week. It's our last week for Cafecito time before we take it to another, either a podcast or IG lives 1 to 2 times a week. So thank you guys. Have an awesome weekend. Bye.